What's up, gang? LJ back with another video today, and it's going to be a different video to what I had originally planned to do because this morning I woke up and the whole fear, self-doubt, worthlessness was in full force. And I looked, nobody had watched my video, and you know what? I wasn't expecting people to be viewing these videos, and I'm doing a lot of these videos at the beginning for myself to find out what lane I want to go down, what I truly want to speak about. And I'm trying to attract people who resonate with me. And a lot of that's done through energy and people just connecting with what I say. But this morning I was ready for just quitting. I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this. Nobody's going to ever watch me. I've got nothing to say. This whole, feeling sorry for myself and thinking, just that negative self-talk, that fear, that just, worthlessness. And, it was horrible because YouTube has been a dream of mine for 5 years. And I've allowed so many times the negative self-talk to come in. And see, if I was to write down on paper my accomplishments, things that I've done, people that I've helped, the knowledge, the books that I've read, the courses that I've taken, all of this other stuff, if I was to write that down, and look at it, it would be pretty good. I've got a lot of life experience, this, that, and the next thing. But in my mind, that doesn't link up. So I was feeling totally dejected. And then I had an appointment with the doctors because I get my bloods done every year because I'm getting, 46, 47 this year. And I asked them to do my blood pressure. My blood pressure was a little bit high. And that was just because of how anxious I was feeling and uptight. And I was, because I said I'm going to be just authentically me. I'm going to try and do a video every day just until I find my flow, find out what avenue I'm going to go down. It is leaning more towards the spiritual side of it. And because it's something I'm hugely passionate about, I just love talking about, spirituality, the things that we don't know. But there's a part of me that also wants to help build people up physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. I want to be able to serve. And I think YouTube is the biggest platform in the world to reach as many people as possible. And that's why YouTube has been a dream for me. And eventually I want to go travel the world, speak on stage. But you know what? You have to start somewhere. But anyway, so yeah, I was ready for quitting. I was ready for quitting this morning. Went to the doctors, high blood pressure, came back, went to record a video, and it was just going to be doom and gloom. It was just going to be doom and gloom because I was feeling like rejected, and it was all in my head. It was all negative self-talk in my head. So I sat for a moment and I just asked for guidance, and the guidance I got was go for a walk. Okay, so I said, all right, I'm going to do that. Okay, John went in to put my dog in, and I've got Audible, so I had one credit left, and the little thought was like, get something new to listen to. So there was a book that was on my wish list, and it's called, let me just say what it's called. It's called One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create. Okay, and it's quite as a spiritual book. It's talking about the I am and how we are all God. There's God in all of us, and we can all connect to God or I am. It says, and I believe that. I believe that we are all connected in some kind of way. I believe that we all have this creative power in us, and we all have the ability to create anything that we want in life. But I forgot all of that this morning. I forgot all of that because I was going down my tangent. But listening to this audio, and it's only short, it's only 2 hours long, and I listened to like at 1.75, I think it is. So it goes quite quick. And it was just really reminding me of a lot of the stuff that I already know. Because it talks about how thoughts, all there is I am, which is you are God, basically. You are, this infinite, you can create a machine. And I create, that's only 2 real truths there. And our thoughts create. Now, the reason why people don't create is because when they have a thought of creating, they immediately go in with all the doubts after it, like 500 thoughts, doubting that they can't create this thing. Now, I just need to look at my own life. Now, the the biggest creation I've had in the most recent was my barber shop. Now, I had no experience as being a barber. I went back to train, and in my head, I believed that as soon as I was finished training, I was opening my own shop. Okay, so I go on to the barber academy, and I'm training. As people ask, what are you going to do after this? I'm opening my own shop, and these other people were going to be apprentices somewhere else, and this, and nobody believed me. Even my wife didn't believe that I was going to make this a reality because it seemed so outlandish. And in my head, there was no other question that I was going to open my own shop. As I was travelling there, I'd be designing the floor plan, I'd be researching all the different equipment that I needed, wallpaper. And so I had this wallpaper in my barber shop, flooring. And by the time the barber shop program had finished, I knew everything that I needed. In fact, I opened it a week after I'd finished. I was due to finish in January. And I went out one day and said, this was in December, and I said to my wife, I'm going to go and find a location. And she said, location for what? I said, the shop. And she said, what are you talking about? You've got no money. I said, I'm going to go, I'm doing this. So I went out and I went to see this one location, and it was ideal. And so I phoned up and they said, well, somebody's just taken that, but they're not 100%, but they've got first refusal. And I said, perfect. And they said, we do have another one which is across the road. Now, you couldn't really see this one because it had big windows at the front, but it wasn't totally visible, whereas the other one was big, massive windows, and it was a bit more visible. So I said, I'll go, because it looked like a small little shop. But so when I went over and looked at it, and when I looked in, it was exactly what I had imagined the floor plan to be on my barber shop. It was wide enough to have the chairs and the waiting area. And then at the back, the steps went up. And at the back, and that's where I planned to have my games section for people waiting. So I arranged a visit and I said, I'm going to take it. So I'm like, what are you going to do about money? And I said, I don't know. So cut a long story short, I spoke to my mum. My mum said, I can borrow you $5,000. And I said, perfect, great. So anyway, I got everything done, and that was in December. Within a month, I graduated, and I graduated on the second week in January, and I opened, I think it was Monday the 20th of January in 2019, and I opened my shop. Now, nobody believed me, but I just had this clear focus, and it was the same with my wife. My wife was out of my league, but as soon as I saw her, I knew that she was the one. And I had visualizations of settling down with her and everything before we'd ever even spoke. And I told my daughter this story yesterday and she was laughing. But anything in my life that I have truly focused on, and I put my focus on and not allowed doubt to get into my mind, I have created or I have achieved. Same way at university, going to America to play football in university, I dreamed of that because I knew I wasn't going to make it as a professional. I'd been with a couple of pro youth clubs, but my drinking got on the way and I got kicked out, and I knew I wasn't going to make it a pro. So the next thing, I remember David Weir went over to play in America before he came and played with Everton, I think. And so that was my next thing. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do. And then boom, it happened. So when I look back over my life, there was all these things that when I had that single focus, and I never allowed doubt to enter my mind. Now, there was doubt, would still come in, but it wasn't the main thoughts. Okay, because we only believe, so our beliefs are just little packets of information that were useful to us in the past, and that's what we allow our actions to be based on, what we believe is possible. And if what we believe is possible is based on the past, that's not relevant to create something in the future. So, listening to this book, and again, it just cemented so much more of the stuff that I already knew, but I was allowing my fear and my doubt to sidetrack me. Now, I don't know how long this is going to take for me to get this YouTube channel, off the ground and build a solid community. But you know what I do know that it will happen, because this is, I committed. I said to myself before I started this, I'm going to do this no matter how long it takes, and I'm just going to be authentically me. Now, if I would have waited to figure out what I was going to talk about, because in the past, I scripted videos, I had all these scripts and I had all these video ideas planned in advance, and it just felt fake. I wasn't just coming on and being me, and that's what I said in my other video. I love talking live because it's more in the moment. You're getting instant feedback. You're talking to people. They're asking questions. So talking to a video camera, I don't have that same energy. And then when I'm doing it and it's scripted, it feels very false and inauthentic. And that's just not who I am. And I wanted it to be something truly authentic this time. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to start. I'm just going to get some videos uploaded. I'm going to try and do one every single day for 75 days. And I got that idea from, I can't remember, it was this girl, and she said, the 75 hard you get for fitness. She said, try 75 hard for YouTube. And I said, you know what? That's a great idea just to get myself started. And then I had like these kind of synchronicities or signs to just start and just be authentically me. And that's why you see the banner, authenticity. I had a whole different banner design before, which is called the Way of the 144, which was a reference to the 144,000, which is a spiritual theme. And we'll probably talk about that as we go. But the main gist of this video is, don't let any of your, negative self-talk, because that is not you. That's your identity trying to keep you the same. Your identity doesn't want to die. And if you don't shift your identity, you're going to stay the same. Now, that's the whole thing. Your identity doesn't want to die, but you have to change your identity if you want to change. So your identity will do everything through these negative beliefs, these limiting thoughts, like your way to keep you the same, because up until right now, you're alive. So that's all it knows. All it cares about is you being alive. It just cares about you being alive. It doesn't care about you being successful or being fulfilled or living a spiritually in tune, happy life full of love. And it just cares that you're alive. So it does everything to keep you alive. And when you go to change your life, it sees change as a threat to survival. So it tries to block you from taking that action. And I already knew all this because I'd studied superconscious mastery, subconscious programming. And I know all of this stuff already, but it was so easy for me to get trapped in these negative, thought patterns. And then when I had the thought to go to walk and then get this new book, and it was talking about this woman's conversation with God, or the God inside her, the I am presence, which we all have. And that's what and I believe, the author, because it's a husband and her, and it's a kind of question answer communication style. But it was just, again, I knew the information, but I just had to listen to it again. And then it got me thinking about my own journey. And, when I truly focus on something, because no matter all my addiction and all the bad things that's happened, I've said that I've had a lot of success in that. And my addiction were to teach me a lesson, and I wouldn't change what's happened in my life. Now, there's a lot of heartache, but my addiction is part of who I am today. It's given me the knowledge, the tools, understanding. And right now, I'm an amazing father, I'm an amazing husband, I'm a great friend. I'm in the best shape of my life. But that's all based on my life experience. So if I was to change anything, then I wouldn't be the man I am today. And that's the same as you. No matter what's happened in your life, it's irrelevant. If you want to create a new life, what you have to do is you have to figure out what it is that you want to do, what inspires you, and then commit to it. And just keep taking the action, because the belief that you can't do it is based on outdated history, in the past, and it's not relevant today. So it's about taking small, incremental action steps forward towards it. And if you keep doing that, then that's when you get the confidence, because if you're saying, I'm going to do that, and you take actions towards it, then the belief builds, but then other people see that you are doing it, and then their belief builds in you, and your confidence builds within, and then the next thing you know, you're creating a magical life. Okay, and this is, as I said, I wasn't planning on coming on. I was planning on coming on here and venting and moaning, but this is such a more powerful video, because even though I know this stuff, and I still allowed all of the negativity to get me down today and really drag my mood down. And I wasn't going to quit, but the thoughts were quitting, and nobody's going to watch anyway. Your stuff's crap. You don't even know what you're going to talk about, this, that, and the next thing. I was like, and I was feeling so overwhelmed. But after You know, and after recording this, now I feel like on fire because I know that this is what I'm supposed to do because I love speaking to people. I love helping people. I love, you know, the whole recording and, you know, I don't really edit because I'm trying to just keep it, you know, 100% authentic. I'll probably might change that as I go down. But, you know, moving forward, that's what it's just about me trying to, you know, pass on the lessons that I've learned that's going to help you improve your life. And hopefully, if you're stuck around here to this point here, hopefully you've got some value from it. You know, leave something in the comments, ask a question. I'll read all the comments. And if you want to follow me on this journey, you know, please subscribe. It really will go a long way. And as I said, I just want to build a community of like-minded people that truly want to elevate their life spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. And I know I've got all the tools to help, you know, people do that. It's just that I'm not a great marketer. And that's probably been my downfall in a lot of the things. I don't know how to market myself. And also, I never really had that full belief in myself to market myself. So this is all relatively new to me. And yeah, you know, so I'll leave it there for you. Okay, so listen, I hope you know, you got something from it. I'm sending you much love. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.